Hello, this is my presentation on capital controls by Peter Blaber. I will first be going over the definition of capital controls, the historical developments of capital controls, as well as the facts and statistics surrounding capital controls in countries such as China. First, the definition of capital controls. Capital controls are a government and central bank's efforts to regulate and control the flow of foreign capital in and out of the country. These controls include taxes, tariffs, outright legislation, and volume restrictions, as well as market-based forces. Capital controls can affect many asset classes, such as equities, bonds, and foreign exchange trades inside the country. Some of the historical developments of capital controls include the fact that prior to 19th century, there was generally little need for capital controls due to low levels of international trade and financial integration. They also became highly restrictive when capital controls were introduced with the outbreak of World War I. The idea that capital controls were a bad thing was challenged, however, following the 1997 Asian financial crisis. Asian nations that had retained their capital controls, such as India and China, could credit them for allowing them to escape the crisis relatively unscathed. Capital controls in China have allowed yuan outflows to plummet, showing that capital controls have paid off. China may tighten these capital controls, though, as the yuan outflow continues. Policymakers are currently trying to make it harder to move capital out of the country. Capital control represents any measure that will control the economy and make it so that way the financial market will keep its capital within the state and supplying the people as opposed to foreign countries. Some capital controls, facts, and statistics include how policymakers' efforts to keep cash at home are taking effect. An equivalent of net 900 million worth of yuan left China via payments in December. The State Administration of Foreign Exchange data showed. That's less than 2% of the record amount in September and compares with an average of 25.8 billion a month last year. As this graph shows, you can see since March that yuan have been plummeting in billions of dollars. The highly restrictive capital controls make it so that the pro-free market economists claim the following advantages for free movement of capital. It enhances overall economic growth by allowing savings to be channeled to their most productive use. By encouraging foreign direct investment, it helps developing economies to benefit from foreign expertise. Not only this, but it allows states to raise funds from external markets to help them mitigate a temporary recession. It enables both savers and borrowers to secure the best available market rates. When controls include taxes, funds raised are sometimes siphoned off by corrupt government officials for their personal use. Not only this, but last year the yuan slid by the most in more than 2 decades against the dollar, and China's foreign reserves fell near the psychologically relevant 3 trillion level. Moves that prompted regulators to escalate their actions. The equivalent of net 309.4 billion left China via yuan payments in 2016, the biggest annual amount in data going back to 2010. Here are the sources that I have found, and I hope you all have enjoyed my presentation. Have a good day.